during the webinar. You may raise questions after the presentation. Please turn on your camera if you could to make the webinar more interactive, only if your bandwidth allows. You may also post your questions ahead of time in the chat box and we will get to them after the presentation. So please keep your questions within the scope of the webinar topic. And finally, this is very important. Please don't leave right after the Q&A because you have to answer the survey form. And remember the featured cat at the end of the webinar to receive your certificate. Okay, before we proceed, I would also like to thank our growing list of partners and sponsors joining this event. You can see them right in the screen. We have Royal Canin, Naba, Origin, Chow, Akana, Picomi, Golden Steam, Mushroom Cat, Fairy Cat Mom, Meow Mix, Royal Cats, Pineapple Pets, Vita and Princess Cat Food. And there will be more to come in the coming weeks. The entire FCPI team is really grateful for your support and your participation. Would add so much value and excitement in our upcoming shows and activities. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. Now, for the next part, you know the drill. If you attended the last seminar, we'd like to know more about you, just so you could also give our mentors a preview of who we are here in the seminar. So we have 2 polls tonight to get to know you better. First off, we want to know which part of the world you're from. So you will see a pop-up in your screen and select an answer. I will give you a moment to vote. Can count to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now let's see the results. Okay, so most of you are from the Philippines. Hello, mabuhay. And we have a few from Europe. May I know which countries, if you could put it in the chat box, are you from in Europe? It's really amazing. We have that much reach. We're currently now 42-38 of which are attendees. So our Europe guests are shy. They don't want to put which countries they're from. Anyways, we'll catch up to them later. Okay, the next thing we want to know is, are you joining us for the upcoming show? Your choices will be flashing on the screen in a moment. And we want to know if you're already registered to the Fantastic Felines International Cat Show. And I'll give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, wow, it's evenly split. We have 37% or 35% of people actually already registered. Some 19% are still thinking about it. 10% are registering soon. And unfortunately, we have 35% here who are probably reserving it for the next time. Well, you're always welcome. You still have 29 days to change your mind. So hopefully this webinar would also help you change your mind. Okay. Now, thank you for your cooperation. You guys recall we started this webinar series 2 weeks ago with the WCF show rules with Jen. And we are following it up with some tips for you to prepare for your first cat show, if this is your first. For those who've had more experience, consider this a crash course on maximizing what you get out of a cat show. So we are lucky to have 2 mentors tonight, and I will introduce our first guest. Our first mentor is a doctor of veterinary medicine who graduated from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and had college externships in wildlife rescue centers around the Philippines, such as the Biodiversity Management Bureau and Ocean Adventure Philippines. She has volunteer experience in rescue and conservation centers in Hong Kong and Thailand. Oops, someone's turning on the poll. She has a 5 years experience in small animal and exotic emergency medicine and vets in practice, and is currently the scientific communications manager of Royal Canin, Philippines. So everyone, please give it up for Dr. Ever Austria. Dr. Ever, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello. Okay, so I'll share my screen now, Sereno?
Yes,
okay.
Go ahead, please.
Give me a minute. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So hello, everyone. So as Sereno mentioned, my name is Dr. Everlyn Austria. You can also call me Dr. Ever. That's my nickname here. And I am the Scientific Communication Manager of Royal Canin Philippines. So I'd like to say thank you first for inviting me to this webinar. I'm very happy to be a part of this cat community. It's always a pleasure to meet so many new people in the cat community. It's very original, and I love learning about all of the practices. And I also really enjoy going to cat shows. So I'm very happy to be a part of this. Okay. So yeah, so I have been a small animal veterinarian for about 5 years before coming into Royal Canin. And that is because nutrition is a huge part of my beliefs. Like having health through nutrition is very important. Okay. It's also part of the reason why I joined Royal Canin. So this is just going to be a very brief lecture. So first of all, my first slide is going to be showing why Royal Canin. So we are a health through nutrition company. We are obsessed with nutrition, and we have been studying nutrition of dogs and cats for more than 50 years already. And we will continue to improve. Okay. So another thing that I want to highlight is we are also very proud of our quality and food safety, our traceability and quality distribution. So it means that, for example, if somebody purchases a bag of Royal Canin and then they notice that there is a slight damage, there is something wrong, or the kibble looks slightly discolored, let's say, could be problem with the storage, we are very proud to know that we can trace where it started. So if you show it to us, if you call the manufacturer's information in the bag, we can definitely trace where it started. So we're very proud of that. Because we want to make sure that the food that we deliver is very safe. Another thing is manufacturing. We have a state-of-the-art facility, manufacturing plants. And if you support Royal Canin, you are also supporting a sustainable company. It is also part of the reasons why I wanted to join Royal Canin. Sustainability is something that is very close to my heart. I'm also an avid believer of wildlife rescue centers, so sustainability is something that I treasure. So if for some of you who are using Royal Canin, you may notice that some of the bags have changed their packaging. And that is because we are shifting our packaging to be biodegradable. And it is our goal to have all of our packaging biodegradable in the next few years. Okay. And it's also because we have been, you can also notice that sometimes we change our ingredients. It's also because we want to use healthy and sustainable ingredients for our dogs and cats. And another thing is that we have very strong partnerships with scientific communities and veterinary hospitals because we want to strive to give the best nutrition for our dogs and cats. And feedback of our clients, of our consumers, is also something we greatly value because we believe in continuously improving our diets and our formulations. Okay. And for the next thing, the reason why we have a prestige club, Royal Canin has a breeder prestige club. And the reason why we have relationships with professionals is because we both want the same thing. We want to make sure that we are giving the best health for our dogs and cats. And in many different parts of the world, Royal Canin partners with breeders and pet professionals, and even some rescue centers. So, as a company that values health through nutrition, and as a veterinarian, I want our breeders and our professionals to know that a large percentage of a dog and cat's health relies on the health and nutrition during the growth stage. So together, we want to build healthy foundations for our dogs and cats through educating our breeders. And they, in turn, can educate their future pet owners. And not just about nutrition, also about proper vaccination, also about proper neutering of the dogs and cats, and all of the other things that can make one a responsible pet owner. And this is why professionals, breeders, or professional pet owners, they are extremely critical in the life of dogs and cats. Now, for one thing, I always show this slide to people if they are curious on what makes Royal Canin so special. For one thing, all of our diets in RC have an antioxidant complex. So antioxidants can help boost the immune system. Another thing is the presence of LIP. This means low indigestible protein, which basically just means that the protein that we use in RC is very highly digestible, which means that a lot of it is utilized and metabolized by the body instead of it being excreted out in the stool as waste. That's why people notice that if their dogs and cats eat Royal Canin, the stool quality is smaller and of better form. And of course, tailor-made nutrition. We want to tailor-make many diets for different sizes, different breeds, different health predispositions, or different sensitivities for our dogs and cats. It's not just one diet for all. We want to tailor-make these diets for many individual dogs and cats. And our goal here is to increase the natural defenses of a dog and cat's body through balanced nutrition. Okay, so it's like in humans as well. If you give excellent nutrition, you can also increase the resistance and the immunity of the body. So I want to start. I want to introduce I want to show our portfolio, but I do want to highlight the start of life diets because I do believe there are some breeders here as well, or those that want to acquire a new pet or so. I do want to highlight that the nutrition in the start of life, in the first year of life of a cat and even a dog, is extremely important. And it is something that a lot of people tend to take for granted. Okay. So for first, we don't just have one diet here. We have 4 diets here. So for the first stage, we have our milk, of course. That's the replacement if the queen does not have enough milk. For the second stage, we have something called mother and baby cat. And this is to be given to the queen during pregnancy and can also be given to the kitten once they are transitioning to a solid diet. Now, the special thing about this diet is that it's rehydratable, which means if you wet it, if you put a little bit of water, it becomes softer and it's easier for a cat to transition, and easier for a kitten to transition from milk to solid food. And another thing, our number 3 is our kitten diet, our beloved kitten 36. So this is to be given to kittens at 4 to 12 months old. So I do want to highlight that all cats become adults at 1 year old, except for our very special Maine Coons who become adults at 15 months. This means you have to keep them in a kitten diet until that age, okay? And after our kitten diet, we have another diet that came out last year, which is called the kitten sterilized diet, because cats that have been spayed or castrated have a higher tendency to gain weight compared to dogs, okay? And this is for the kittens that have been neutered quite early. And I also want to stress the importance of neutering for our dogs and cats. And before I end, I do want to highlight another diet that we have here. It is called the professional queen diet. This diet is exclusive for our professional prestige breeder club. Okay, so this is a diet that is more tailor-made for a pregnant queen from the start of heat until the end of lactation. Okay, so if you want to know more, I can give you the contact info of our sales managers in the next few slides. And next, we also have our feline breed nutrition. For those that are tuning in from outside the Philippines, I'm sure you have, especially those from Europe, I'm pretty sure you have a more complete portfolio. But in the Philippines, these are the diets that we have: British Shorthair, Bengal Maine Coon, Persian Ragdoll, Siamese Sphinx, and Norwegian Forest Cat. Now, these diets are developed in major collaboration with professional breeders partnered with Royal Canin. So we're very proud of this. And this is because there are many different health predispositions for certain kinds of breeds. So these diets are tailor-made just for them. And besides the breed nutrition, we also have care. So this is for cats with sensitivities, hair and skin, hairball. And I do want to take this opportunity to mention that we do have a new diet coming in this year, which is called lightweight care. Feline and canine obesity is a big no-no. Please, I know that dogs and cats are very cute when they're fat, but they're not healthy. So I really want to stress the importance of a healthy weight for dogs and cats. And after that, we also have our feline health nutrition diets. Okay, so we have a wider, more expansive portfolio since last year. So you have many diets to choose from. So I also want to highlight our Prestige Breeders Club. This club is actually to help build and manage kennels and catteries, providing nutritional expertise. We want to help, we want to assist our breeders and even our cat or dog show enthusiasts for better nutrition and better health. And of course, we want to encourage responsible breeding. That's one of the major goals of this club. So these are the benefits. If you are a part of this club, you have an exclusive breeders prize. You can be a part of free webinars and seminars, and you have a lot of exclusive perks as well. And if you want to become a member, I have here some of the requirements to become one. You can take a screenshot of this if you wish. You need a minimum of 4 dogs or cats. You have to be active in breeding, or if you're not a breeder, if you're active in shows, you can be a part of this club as well. And even if you have working or security dogs, you can be a part of this as well. So if you want to know more, if you want to learn more, or if you're curious on how to become a member, you can contact our very lovely sales managers. If you're part of South Metro Manila or the Luzon, Palawan, Visayas region, you can contact Miss Kat Gonato. But if you're part of the North and Eastern Manila, North Luzon, or Mindanao region, you can contact Mr. Lucky Rialon. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this slide as well if you were curious to be a part of our Prestige Breeders Club. And that's it. Thank you very much. And the floor is yours, Sir Reno.
Thank you so much, Doc Ever, for that very quick talk. Are there any questions from our guests and audience so far? Maybe I'll just get started, Doc Ever, because it takes a while for people
Okay, sure.
to warm up to, asking questions. You mentioned about start of life nutrition in your talk. So how crucial is this? So essentially, we typically wean kittens towards nearing their 1 month or 30 days of age. And apart from that, we rely mostly, of course, on formulas that are available in the market, as well as, of course, this is specifically true for queens that don't have enough milk production, right?
Yes.
So do you think, like, for a lot of kittens who didn't have that sort of like focus, is there any way for them to catch up with the type of products that RC offers?
Yeah, it actually also depends. But the reason why we really stress the start of life is because if you start early, you can lessen chances of having chronic diseases in the future, which is really much proven. But I would always say that it's never too late to start now if you feel like it. If the kitten is, for example, a little older, or if it's already an adult, I can say that it's never a bad thing to start a little later or so, as long as you're giving proper nutrition to your kittens or your cats as well. But yes, the best way to start is definitely at the beginning of life. Actually, not just, I would say it's also very good to start on the queen itself, on the pregnant queen. It's the best way to start in that. If you give excellent nutrition for the mother, you can produce very healthy kittens as well. So yeah.
Okay, we have a couple of questions now that I've broken you in. One is RC Prestige breeder here. My cat loved the queen variety, help her gain weight during pregnancy. So it's more of like a testimonial, Doc Ever.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Dr. Patrick said, does the membership strictly enforce the 4 minimum cats rule?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It's 4 minimum adult cats. I think I have our sales manager here, Kath, replying to. Yes, it's a minimum of 4 cats.
Okay. Hi, Doc. Just to clarify, I can give RC kitten food to my Maine Coon kittens until they're 15 months old?
Yes, that is right. Yes, Miss Irene. Because Maine Coons are much heavier, or they are much larger compared to our normal regular sized cats. So the larger they are, the longer their growth period. And it's the same thing for dogs as well. Like mini or small dogs will tend to be adults when they're 10 months old, but larger dogs like golden retrievers, they tend to become adults when they're already 15 or 18 months old. So it's the same thing in cats.
Yeah, so
thank you.
Well, we're just waiting for some of the questions to go through. One of the things that I learned
Mhm.
first as a breeder is that if you have a queen who's preparing to give birth soon, is that it's also okay to give them kitten food for them to gain weight. How
Oh.
much of
Mhm.
that is fact and how much of that is fiction?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when it comes to reproduction, when it comes to cats or queens, it is actually best to start them on a kitten or a growth diet at the start of breeding, because cats need to constantly gain weight when they're pregnant because it ensures proper lactation. So it's best to start them when they're bred because they're spontaneous ovulators, right? So they can get pregnant whenever they get mated. So you can actually start them when they're mated already or when you feel like they're in heat. That's the best time to start them on that diet. And you can continue that all the way until the end of their lactation.
Sounds good. Dr. Patrick says, "Oh my God, I am just starting out to breed British short hair cats." So still a long way to go before it can qualify for prestige, right, Dr. Patrick? Or maybe we can help you out. We can give you additional cats.
Yeah. Okay, good opportunity here. Or I don't know, you can contact our sales manager, see if we can I don't know if you have more adult dogs or cats in your house. I'm not sure about the rules. It's better actually for you to talk to our sales manager here.
Okay, we'll send everyone a phone number of Cat and Lucky.
Screenshot na lang. We'll show
Or
it here.
screenshot na lang if they're interested. Okay.
Yes.
Are there any other questions for Dr. Ever? So going once, going twice, gone. Thank you so much, Dr. Ever, for that very insightful thoughts on the role of nutrition in preparing your cat, not only for pregnancy, but also for a cat show. So
Thank you.
let's give Dr. Ever a round of applause for that very quick yet insightful talk. Thank you, Dr.
Yes, thank
Ever.
you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, happy to be here.
Okay, now we're moving on to our next mentor, who is a British Shorthair breeder since 2013, specializing in golden and silver color. He started his cattery in France, then moved to Vietnam in 2015. It was his childhood dream to own a British Shorthair, and it was in an agricultural fair in Paris in 2012 when he first witnessed a cat show. I believe many of us share similarities in his story of how we began in the cat fancy. Typically, we go to a cat show, we inquire about cats, and before you know it, we've committed to buying a cat from one of the breeders that we met. So when he returned to Vietnam, there was no club dedicated to pedigreed cats, not unlike his time in France, where there were many associations. This was what motivated him to establish the Vietnam Felinology Association. And this was not the first club he founded, but it is certainly the one he is most passionate about. Friends and fellow cat lovers, I am pleased to introduce a WCF student judge, the president of the VFA, and a very good friend to FCPI, Mr. Dali. Dali, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Reno, once again for give me the invitation for this webinar. Yes, and thank you, Dr. Ever, about the speak about Royal Canin program as well. Really, I hope that one day in Vietnam I have a good program for breeder like this. Yes, before when I was in France, I reached the same program like this. Yeah, Royal Canin send a representative to my houses and give me, and present to me so much of the product of Royal Canin like this. Exactly the same program that like Dr. Ever do in Philippines, but in Vietnam we don't have it yet, so I get jealous a little bit. Yeah, and yeah, before my part, sorry because about my English skill, because I do speak French like my second languages, so I will do my best to speak in English. I hope you guys can understand with my terrible accent, but yeah, I will try to do my best. At any time when I I do my part. Any part you guys don't understand, please type on the chat box, and I can repeat and try to explain to you guys one more time. Yes. And okay, so the main part of today, I will share my screen. Yes, and it's a, oh, okay, how to hide it. Okay, I hope you guys see my screen, right, Reno?
Yes, it's showing perfectly.
Okay, so this part is for help you guys preparing for your cat and for yourself before go to the WCF cat show. Yes, and this is very usefully because maybe here we got 51 participants on this meeting. I believe that a lot of you have attended the cat show before, so you guys know what to do. So, and I guess so many new people. Maybe the next show of Reno is the first time you will attend from the cat show, and this webinar is very helpful for you. Yeah. Okay, so the first slide that I want to sharing with you is from my experience, because like as the student judge, WCF student judge position, so I stand with judges so many show before, and I can share you good experience is check the general fraud in own breed before, because if your cat gets some problem on this slide showing your cat we got the trouble on the table children. Yes, please look at on the slide the part with the red circle here, the body, the bite, and the grooming is mostly cases I get on each route of table children route. Yes, on the body, the mostly I got a problem from the knot and king in the tail. So please, you guys to have to check every time your cat before choosing the best cat to join the show is very important. Yes, and the bite, sometimes I see the cat is mixing teeth. So maybe on the lower jaw or upper jaw, but the missing teeth is unacceptable for the WCF cat show. So please check or always check it before go to the show as well. And badly groomed or dirty cat, please do something or minimum take a bath for your cat, because the judges will never touch your cat if they are not a good show condition. Yes, and sometimes here you guys can see if your cat is female, is pregnant or nursing queen, think about you can bring to the show or not, because sometimes judges can disqualify the cat in each cases. If the judges is very polite or a little bit easy, okay, they can accept you, but it's listed on the general fault in own breed of WCF. So please think very carefully about this before gives a decision to bring this female to the show or not. And the behavior, sometimes you can see the cat is very aggressive. Because maybe Mr. Reno remember, yeah, on my show last time in Vietnam, I have a cat bite the hand of Russian judges, and I have to bring her to hospital to check the day after that. Yeah, and of course that cat gets disqualified directly, because the aggressive cat is not sometimes not good for the show. The judges have to disqualify it, because it's better for your cat. If your cat stay at home, stay calm at home, it's better for them. So you can change for your cat. Sometimes bring him to on the public, to a public area, because sometimes if your cat is the first time to go to the show, maybe the noises, so many people can arrange him. Yes, so you can check your own general photo or own breed on the website wcf.de on this part. Yeah, okay. So the second slide is I recommend you guys always checking the health of the cat 1 month, 2 months before to the show. For example, the show of Mr. Reno is in 29 days. So from now on, we have checking the health of the cat every time. Why? Because maybe at the last minute, you're gonna get trouble from the your cat, maybe cat coryza or something abnormal. So you have to decide to make decision to bring him or her to the show or not. So always keep the cat safe and checking the health. If the cat gets something not good, yeah, please think carefully about to bring him to the show or not, or maybe change another cat. So it's a very important part to checking the health of the cat. The next is a grooming. Yes, at least please be private to have the coat of cat in the best condition according to the breed. For example, if you are the breeder of Maine Coon or Ragdoll, you know, because that breed no need undercoat, and the coat of that breed is like a silky coat. So you cannot, you know, take make the grooming like a British short hair or like a Siberian, because that breed have a lot of undercoat. So the different grooming ways according to the breed. This is what I mean. A minimum take a bath for your cat before go to the show, and grooming is for me is a very important to your cat before go to each WCF cat show as well. Yes, and once again, I repeat, just will not touch your cat if your cat get, you know, look like a little bit dirty or not good condition for the show. Yeah. Okay, and next, this is my advice of preparation before the cat show and during the cat show. Yeah, for you. The first people preparation before the cat show, the morphology, the health, and the temperament of the cat is a 3 important point for me. I will go to the next slide to see more. This slide, you can check the breed standard of the short hair category, long hair category, semi-long hair, or Siamese Oriental on the website of WCF. Why? Because you guys will join a WCF cat show. So please, at least one time, check the standard from the website. Yes, so sometimes you guys can understand why my cat get a title and why my cat didn't pass the table judging rounds, or why my cat don't get the nomination for the best in show. Yeah. Okay, so important point. The first one is morphology, the health, and the temperament. So why I advise you guys to check this point, because it's depend of the judge's style. What did that mean? That mean, okay, think about when you bring your cat, put on the judge's table, and the first contact between you, the cat, and the judges is the look. They look. The cat is in the good condition, have a very beautiful temperament, very good temperament. I mean, okay, this the look, the first contact for every cat for the first time you guys bring your cat to the table for judging. Okay, and then the second point important is the morphology. The morphology is does mean that is your cat is look like the standard, is very close with the standard of WCF. So that's why I recommend you guys at least check the standard from WCF website at least one time before bring your cat to the show. And the health. Okay, before talking about the health, I wanna go back to judge style, because I can share with you the experience about 2 styles of judges before I see. Have one style of judges. One, the beautiful cat is look like the standard of WCF, is the most important thing for her, for him. And another style is the health of the cat is the most important. And the second is a standard. Yeah. So sometimes if you bring the very beautiful cat, but just think about, okay, you take care of your cat's not good, or you feed him, a lot, just few days before to before to go to the show, and your cat got diarrhea or something like that. So maybe it's a negative point for your cat. Yeah, so that's why I can share you the churches style. Sometimes you can follow the churches to get a title. Yeah. The morphology, like I said, please check the standard of the cat from WCF website. You can estimate the points for your cat and example pretty short hair. And from this part, I will share you guys. I will open the standard from WCF of the pretty short hair. You guys can go to the breast standard just right here. Go to the short hair, so the hair category. For example, ragdoll or Maine Coon, you guys can see here. The British long hair, you guys can see here. And now we go to on the British short hair. Just right here. Okay, the WCF breed standard, you guys have all of description of each part of the cat on this website. Yeah, about the body, the tail, the head, the ears, the eyes, and the coat, ATC. And some photo, you guys can see here, the for head too flat, the coat color and pattern not according to the standard, disqualify if the very small or undeveloped permit, eyes color not corresponding with the cat coat color. And here is a scale of point for each for the British short hair. So sometimes you guys bring your cat a British short hair to the table judging. You guys get the title, you guys get the CAC, and you guys understand. And sometimes if the judge just give you the recommend about the cat, it's good. You understand why you get the title, why you don't get the title, right? And sometimes, the judges is very quiet. Just look your cat, touch your cat, touching your cat, and without recommend, without any speech. I mean, so, okay, I don't understand why my cat get a title or not. Yeah, and this part can help you guys. If you get a title, that means your cat is very, very correspond to according the breed standard of the British short hair. And if your cat don't get a title, for example, the cat needs 95 point minimum to get the CAC 90. Yeah, and if I don't wrong, it's 95 point or 93, 95. So that means if your cat don't get a title, you get losing minimum 7 point. And in that case, you can ask the judges to show his recommend about the negative point, the point you lose. Yeah, maybe 1 point from the body. If your cat too small according the age of the cat, maybe the heat, like you can see here, the heat of British short hair is the most important part for the cat with the 30 point. Maybe you lose 1 or 2 points from this. Yeah, the eyes color is not correct. If the eyes color like the British short hair blue, the copper eyes, the copper color is the most beautiful. Yes, sometimes my cat eyes is yellow, but not that copper, you see. And maybe you can you lose 1 or 2 points from this. The coat texture, the coat layer. If you lose the undercoat for the British short hair, you lose the point. Yeah, because Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, even Thailand, we are tropical country. So the climate, the temperature is very hot. It's very hot. So if we take care of our British short hair without air cool, I mean, so the cat natural, they will lose the undercoat. Yeah, so take care of the cat, checking the health and protect the undercoat as well. So before go to a show, And yeah, this is an example for pretty short hair, and you guys can check every all the breed for this, and can understand why I get the title and why I don't. The second part is necessary supply for your cat and for you. For cat, of course, a showcase is for the cat. It's not for the people. Okay, the showcase, of course, we need the showcase, not some maybe not any kind of showcase will be good. If you guys don't have a showcase, I believe that on the Reno show have services like rent the showcase from the show team, the show manager. Yes, and a showcase. If you guys, yeah, please prepare the showcase because this is give the cat enough area for stand there 1 or 2 days. Yes, the grooming tool is very useful every time because before the show you bring your cat to the groomer to do the grooming, okay? And before go each competition, go to each show round, you guys can need to fix a little bit about the coat for your cat, do the good preparation for your cat for before each competition 5 or 10 minutes before. Yes, so the grooming tool, please always bring it to the show. Yes, the foods and the water, of course, but I think I advise you guys no need to give them a lot because the cat is staying on the cages all day and maybe on 2 days, so they don't need a lot of energy. So just give them, you guys can feeling is enough for the show. Yes, and the order is very important for the cat as well because the cat will not sleep all day in the cages. Maybe they want to go out a little bit, and that's time you guys can play with them, with the cat toys, yeah, and of course don't forget the cat litter box because you guys want the cat pee pee and poo poo directly on the cat cage. Yeah, I know. A little bit supplement and the dry shampoo, yeah, is very helpful too. The supplement I advise you guys can understand your cat, like you guys can give catnip if your cat is very stressed or maybe don't want to touch. So somehow the catnip will have, even on the table judging, you guys can bring just a little bit catnip and put on the table judging so your cat can relax. For the cats very aggressive, for example. And the supplement like anti-stress is maybe can help as well. And in the cases if your cat very calm, very calm, so of course you don't want to bring a sleepy cat to the table judging or to the ring or to the bed in show round, of course. So in that case, please give some booster energy for your cat 10 minutes, 15 minutes before each competition. So the cat will get more fun and people will get more fun and you will get more fun as well. Yeah, so depend the temperament of your cat, prepare the supplement correspond with. Okay, and you should decorate for your showcase. Yes, this is very helpful because the show of Mr. Reno this time is on the public area, so maybe you guys can attending a lot of people walking around like this, and maybe you guys can get I don't know what to say, but I'm sorry if my bad English. You guys, sometimes the category, the breeder can do the marketing on the show hall. I mean, yeah. So you can show the cutie picture like this for your before the showcase for to the public for show them how you love your cat and how serious you do for the category. Yeah, something like that, I mean. And you can put the rosette on the showcase like this. I don't have a picture here, but sometimes you can put the rosette here to decorate for the decoration for the showcase. Okay, so during the cat show, I finishes the preparation before the cat show, and now during the cat show, what to do and what you have to do. First, when you come to the show hall, of course, you need to check in and take the number for your cat. This is a very important thing. And the second, choose the right places for your cat, not for you. Yeah, because this is just an example of the layout of the show hall. Is my show last time. Choose the right places for your cat. Yeah, because sometimes we choose the place for us. Okay, this places is very near the podium, is very near the table of the churches, is very comfortable for us, but maybe not for the cat, because you know the area around the churches, because that means around the speaker, and sometimes the speaker is too loud. They can make your cat very stressed. So if your cat is aggressive, maybe you will need you can put them anywhere, because your cat is don't fear anything, not scary anywhere. But if your cat is, you know, very shiny cat or calm cat, you can choose a cat a little bit far from the speaker for protect your cat. Yeah, so choose the right place for your cat is an important thing as well. Yes, because the cat will stay at the show hall 2 days. So it's a long day for them. So choose a right place for your cat, depend on the temperament. Yeah. And the third part is to check the show catalog each round and follow the MC voices. So as you guys say, maybe you guys join us the last webinar with Chan, yeah, about the WCF show rule last weekend with Mr. Reno. And you guys knows that WCF have 3 competition each day show. Yeah, the table judging, the WCF ring, and the best in show round. Yeah, so you guys to have to check the paper before each round. Why? I mean, tell you guys is the next slide. And yeah, don't forget to visit the sponsor booth, because it's a good time to, you know, trying the new product you haven't seen before, or you have a think to buy before. It's a good time for discovery a little bit. The new product maybe is good for your cat. Okay, before this is a slide from the discuss table judging. Okay, the novice classes and the table judging is the first competition of each WCF show. So when you guys found the right places for your cats already, okay, install your cases, install your cat, finish, and that is the time you guys go check which your cat will be judges on which table, on which judges. So you guys to have to check the show catalog and the calling list for the table judging round. Yes, normally the calling list from the table judging will be called by hair category. Yeah, normally the semi-long hair first, and then long hair, and then short hair, and then hairless. Normally. Okay, so before that, you guys can estimate how many time for waiting, when your cat when to will be your your cat can bring to the table judging. Yeah, this is some picture for the table judging cat, so you guys can see this is a very good chance. Why? Because you and your cat can be, this is a good chance for you, because you are speaking solo one by one with the judges, with the very professional judges. And sometimes they can help you, they can help us understand more about our cat. What is the problem? Can this cat can give a beautiful kitten in the future, or some problem can have in the future? And this cat can go to the higher title or not? Yes, and if you guys get the title, is good. If you guys win, it's very good. If you guys get the best general of each show, is amazing. But if you guys don't get anything from the show, it's good as well. Why? Because at least you guys can understand why and which problem my cat getting, and we will, okay, think about it and avoid to bring that's the same problem to the next show, or okay, that problem can be better for our breathing program after that. So we can fix this as soon as possible before we make a lot of mistake in the future. So this is a very good time and very important when you stand at the table judging with judges. So please don't hesitate to ask the judges anything, any question. If you are confusing about your care, about your plan, you can share it. You can spend a little bit time with judges. There's no problem because you guys bring your cat for this target. Okay, so the second is novice classes. Okay, so novice classes is a very hard competition. Why? This is very hard competition because you guys is bringing a cat without past generation. The judges don't know which is the past generation of the cat. So I mean, without paper, yeah, I can say that without paper to get the WCF pedigree, to ask judges allow this cat can join the breeding program of WCF. So that's why I tell this is a very hard competition. So my advice is you guys have a two very important step before bring your cat to the novice class. The first is the thinking. You guys look for the cat, look on the cat. You guys want to bring to the cat show to do the novice class, right? And which breed you are thinking about? Which breed you are thinking about, because you about to take a kitten or someone give you a kitten like this. Okay, for me it's look like a British short hair. Okay, for me it's look like, well, you are not sure because the cat is without origin, without the past generation, so we don't know what is inside the cat. So okay, my cat is look like British short hair. I want to bring to the WCF cat show to do the novice class to get the WCF pedigree, right? Okay, so first step, which breed you guys thinking your cat are? And the second step, very important, check the standard of WCF. Yeah, and make the compare your cat with the standard by yourself. It is very important as well because sometimes before I see on the show that the owner brings the cat to do the novice class, and they thinking this is, for example, British short hair, but when actually maybe somehow they will pass the novice class, they will not pass. Because they are missing checking, they forget to checking the standard of WCF before go to the novice class. So always think about which breed your cat are and check the standard of the breed, make a compare and make sure before go to the novice class. I am the president of the WCF club as well. I do my show before as well. I get so many questions, like, Dali, do you think this cat can pass novice class? Oh, I am not a judge. Yes, I'm just a student judge, and even on the show, I cannot make the recommend. For me, I think, yeah, it's a beautiful cat, but I can, be sure 100% your cat can pass the novice classes because it's a decision of the judge, not only one, but two judges. If two judges agree, if your cat very close with the standard of the cat, you will pass the novice class for sure. So believe on your cat, believe on you, and check the standard of the cat always before bring to the novice class. Which table judge? That means you guys have to check the calling list to know, to be sure which table you will bring your cat. Yeah, the title for what? Yeah, let me tell you the story like this. Before, for the participants, the first time they bring your cat to the WCF cat show, they bring They bring it, they cater on the table judging, they get the title. Okay, everything is finished and they go back home. It's yeah, maybe it's the mistake of the organization from the club, not do the good preparation like Mr. Reno saying. Yeah, yeah. Because when the participant just bring the cat, join only the table judging, only one competition, and they think it's finished and they go back home already. Ooh. Or sometimes, maybe, you know, they stay on the show. They bring the cat for the ring, but they don't understand. They don't understand what is a WCF ring. That means they bring the cat on the table judging. Okay, they have a contact to speak with judges. They understand why his cat gets the title CIC, CICIB, for example. And after that, they bring the cat for the ring. They don't understand nothing. Oh, what does that mean? What is that? This competition. So that WCF ring for the new participant, WCF ring is sometimes like the cat with judges on the cat. Depends the category. Normally it's adult, kitten, and entering. So and the adult ring, for example, the judges will call every adult cat go to join the ring. Maybe you guys know already because 2 weeks ago the chance I explained about the WCF rule already. So the ring, if your cat get the first place and the second place of each WCF gathering, it is the ticket for your cat to go to the master ring. This is very fun, very, you know, important. So why you guys to need to understand WCF ring? Because have a lot of way to enjoy a cat show. You guys can you know, focus on the table judging for to the get a title and the higher title and the higher title, to one day your cat can become the the world champion, the WCH. Yeah, so this is a long way. Yeah, so and you guys can focus also to the WCF ring to get the master, to get the title mastering. Yeah, because when you guys get the title mastering, the title will put directly on the pedigree as well. That's why sometimes you can see on the pedigree, the silver master, the cheaper mastering, something like that on the name of the cat on each pedigree. So if your cat get the first places of the mastering, you guys can put the title master on the pedigree of the cat. So yes, so I want to say to have a lot of people want to focus on the ring as well. So the ring is a very fun part of WCF. And the last one is my cat gets a nomination for the bet in show round? Okay. What is a bet in show? Bet in show is the last competition of each WCF day show. So you guys, your cat need to get the nomination to the bet in show on the table judging. Yeah, so when you guys bring your cat to the table judging, okay, do my cat get the novice? I don't know. So when the novice given, if you guys take a look on the table judging round, if judges is not finished his job yet, that means the novice list is not given, is not done. So the nomination list for the bet in show only given when all of judges finish his job on the table judging round. So we have to wait. You have to wait maybe after the WCF ring, we have the novice list. Is very important because if your cat gets a novice list, get a novice, you need to stay at the end of the day. Yeah, it's very important as well. No, not just finish the table judging or only WCF ring and bring the cat home. You guys misses the most excited part of each WCF cat show. Is a bet in show round. Yeah, so always, I mean, check the show category, check on the list after each part, and please don't hesitate and go ask the judges or ask the steward or ask the show manager, is my guest finished today or something like this? Yeah, to understand more the WCF rule, show rule. Okay, so the last part I want to share you guys, if your cat attends the bet in show round, please try to be the professional, because you guys cannot, you know, bring your cat like this. This is only the picture from internet. It's not a picture from the show. I mean the bet in show round. What is that? You guys is walking and bringing your cat before all the people, all the judges, and you guys is the most important point, the most important moment, and you are walking to showing your cat to the judges. So everybody is seeing you. So that's why trying to be professional. Yeah. Please do not just hug your cat like this or bring like this to bring the cat to the podium. I know, we know you love your cat. You understand your cat. Maybe he's very shiny or very aggressive. You need to hold it very, very tight to make him calm. But believe me, it will not happen for the best in show round. So maybe training with your cat at home 1 week before the show. Yeah, so take the good and the beautiful position to show your cat before the judges, like this one, for example. You can see the cat is look very, 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 comfortable. This and this as well. Depend of your breed, have another show position different. For example, Bengal, Maine Coon. On the pictures, you see a Maine Coon, right? So the most important part for the bet in show round for Maine Coons is the long body. So, let me my cat is not here. So the right position for the Maine Coon for the bet in show is like this mister is showing his cat. The target is, you know, showing the long body of the Maine Coon. Yeah, but like Cornish Drake or like a Sphinx, we don't need to show them the long body, right? So a comfortable position like this when have your cat, when showing, okay, the cat is very, very, you know, feeling comfortable, and the open, the big open eyes, and it look like very professional. Showing your cat slowly like this, or for each judges. Yeah, and please on the betting show round, please try don't be like this. Yeah, avoid to bring the cat like this to the betting show round. For the table judging is okay, for the WCF bring is okay, but not for the best in show round. So this is my last recommend and advice for you guys before the WCF cat show in 29th day. And this is finished my part. Thank you, Rino. Thank you everyone to, you know, spend time to hearing my bad English with a terrible accent.
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay,
Dali, thank you so much.
Microphone to you.
Thank you so much, Dali, for that very comprehensive presentation. And don't worry about your English, because our French is terrible. So it all evens out, right? So
yeah. You know, I learning French since I was a children, since 6 years old. You know, I never learning English before. My English just come like that, and when I come back to Vietnam, so my French is useless, you know, because people speak English only here. So I have to try, maybe see the movie, play video game, and talking with the people, with my boss in English. So I learned English from that.
you get a lot of practice here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So guys, I'm now opening the floor for any questions. I just want to remind everyone that we will be conducting this session in both English and Filipino. So please feel comfortable asking questions in both language. And then if we need to translate, I will be your go-to person. So just like before, you may raise your hands if you want to go on cam, or simply write down your questions in the Q&A session. But while you're getting warmed up, Dali, you mentioned something about making sure that you present the cat in the best and show the correct way, right? And would you say that this is something connected to the amount of points that a cat gets in the standard? Like, for instance, as you mentioned, when you show a British short hair, the biggest points that you get from a British short hair comes from the head, right? So which means when you present it to a judge, the head should be showcased.
Yes, with the
When-
open eyes, because
with the
sometimes,
open eyes.
yeah,
When
sometimes
you
your
want,
cat can get tired and the eye just like a sleepy eyes like this. So if please check it before bring your cat. So you guys can try using something like the catnip or something to wake up the cat. Yeah, before showing to the judges.
correct.
Yeah.
So, and similarly, if you're showcasing a cat that has more points in terms of body, like the Maine Coon, you wanna be able to showcase to the judge, oh, look how long this cat is, right?
Yeah. This is very important because the Maine Coon is a very heavy breed as well. You guys cannot stand, the Maine Coon like a pretty short hair, like this.
Oh,
Right?
we
Yeah,
have
this is a
a
pretty short hair. You guys cannot, handle the Maine Coon like this. But the Maine Coon, okay, we just, make showing the long body.
show how long
like
it
this.
is.
Yeah, how long it
That's
is.
right.
Because we want to see, the judges want to see the big, beautiful Maine Coon.
Yeah, I also want to emphasize what you mentioned about, socializing or preparing your cat before the show. And practically, we all have literally a month to go before the show. So meaning, get your cat socialized very well, get them accustomed to being carried, and get them accustomed to being, in crowds or spaces that are open. So with that, I think we have one question
Yes.
right in the chat box. It says, hi, is using an anti-stressant considered doping, which may be ground for disqualification?
Anti-threat is very helpful in some cases if your cat is so aggressive. So anti-stress, the target is for calm your cat only. So maybe for me, it's not the doping, and your cat will not get disqualified because you are using your, the doping like this for your cat because the judges will see your cat how to close the standard about the heat, the fur, or is it in the show condition, but not the race cat like the horses. So it's not the doping. It's not the doping, and it's not your cat will not get disqualified because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, so perhaps to add to what Dali mentioned in reference to Albert's question.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see a dope cat, there is no mistake that you're seeing a dope cat, meaning practically unresponsive to the judges, to any stimuli. Like if they do wave their teaser and then the cat doesn't respond simply because it had too much anti-stressant, for instance, that's when you know that the cat is doped. But also circling back to aggressive behavior. We also don't want to see aggressive behavior in any of the cats that we show, because when the purpose of showing a cat is to showcase its health, its beauty, and its temperament. So it should be beautiful, it should be healthy, and it should be well socialized.
That's
And
correct.
that is a reflection on your capability as a breeder. So you have to focus on all three aspects whenever you go to a show. Are there any other questions or comments? Yes, Doc Ever, please.
Ever.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello.
Hello.
Dr.
Okay. So I remember asking this question before. I remember hearing this in another cat show before, but I wanted to double check. So why is a kink tail grounds for disqualification for cats?
Yeah. Because this the king tail, this is a problem. Maybe from the genetic is genetic. So that's mean maybe sometimes that cat you can keep that cat for breeding, because this is a genetic. Maybe the kitten will get the same problem or not. It depends. The gene is homonosis or heterosis. But like I said, the most important one of the most important for the cat before bring them to each cat show, the judges always checks the hue and the morphology. So for them, the king tail is something maybe like not good for the health for the cat. And this is a problem. Yeah. So okay, your cat you get a king tail on this. So for me, it is genetic. So your cat maybe gets a problem in the future, cannot get a long live because of this. If it's development, your cat will die very soon. So I recommend you guys do not, keep this cat for breeding and maybe neuter them, and maybe only for the, neutered show. Yeah, anti show. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so it's connected to genetics and health.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So basically, Dr. Ever, our purpose as breeders is to make sure that each generation of cats that we produce are better than the generation before.
Yes, I love
and
that.
Yeah, so that's really our advocacy to some degree, because if we don't improve the cats that we produce, then there is no point to breeding. So and just to say, for example, shed light on some of the work that selective breeders have done to the benefit of the cats. I'm sure people have heard about polycystic kidney disease in Persians and in different breeds. And essentially, because of selective breeding, breeders have been able to identify which, because it's an inherited trait, then all you need to do is simply not breed cats that have that gene within them. So in that case, then you have a smaller population of cats with PKD gene. And in that case, the health of the general population improves, essentially. So let me just pick on one of our questions here in the chat box. It said, "Hello and thank you for the tips. Really helpful for a newbie like me. Is having a stud tail grounds for disqualification?" So Dali,
is having a stud tail ground
for disqualification.
For disqualification. So this, you can check your cat with the simple technique like touch your cat, touching your cat tail like this. Okay, it's very hard for me to explain that, but I can show you like this on the picture, on the video. Maybe I will take the kitten. It's more easier for you.
I would have to say on
that means you guys can check the tail of the cat since the cat get 2 months, for example, on this kitten, because with this I cannot hold a very big cat. So you guys can check the tail. Okay, let me shut down the blur for the background. So like this.
Let us show your beautiful background.
Yeah. Okay, you guys can touch this part on the tail and do like this, and feeling the bone of the tail. If you guys if the tail get some problem like this, and when you guys touching this, you guys can feeling a crack here. So if you are feeling something like a crack, maybe your cat tail is got some problem. And check the flexible of the tail. Do like this. Do like this. It's very easy to do. Yes, your tail, the cat tail is not get any problem. But if you guys do like this, the cat get very hurt. Feeling is hurting, or something is not flexible. It's very hard to do like this. So maybe your cat can get some problem from the gene, from the genetic. Yeah, so you guys can check the tail like that.
So Dali, I think the question also of Irene is on stud tail, basically tails that are very oily because specifically for male cats that are being shown.
Very oily. Yeah.
Yes. So I hazard that, you know, this will be deducted against the general condition of the cat, right? And
Yeah.
the grooming of the cat.
Yeah, you know, for the male cat, if your cat get too oily, you know, just understand why your cat get this problem, and maybe no, your cat will not get disqualified because of this. Because just understand which is the problem. It's not dirty. It's not you know, fungi. It's just oily for the male cat when the cat in heat, for example. Yeah, it's very normal. I never see the disqualified cases for the oily tail like this.
Yeah, same with me. I think it's just that the judges will penalize you for the condition, because when you show a cat, you're supposed to groom the cat, and that includes dealing with the stud tail, meaning applying the correct product to remove the oil from the tail and make sure that it's fluffy, you know, however it is. I'm gonna go first to Pierre and then to Lucy. So Pierre said, how do you identify the correct tail length in cats?
Oh, how do I identify the correct tail length in cat? Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, please help me check the kitten as well.
You're grabbing kittens and cats in your battery.
What judges will do for check the length of the tail? Okay, you guys can see the body of the kitten. Okay, like this. The head, the body is from this to this. The tail. Okay, so the length of the tail, when you bring your cat to the table judging, the judges will do like this for check the length. Up. If your tail touching in the middle of the back, so that means the size of the tail is medium long, is medium. But for Maine Coon, you guys, when you do like this, and this part of the tail we touch up to the neck, up to the shoulder. So this is a long tail. Yeah, and from this part, from in the middle to the end of the body. So that means your cat get a very short tail. Yeah. So if you guys see on the report of the judges, the tail is long, the tail is medium or short, you guys can see the judges always check like this to estimate the length of the tail.
Okay, so give us an example of a breed wherein the judge looks specifically for long tails.
Yeah, if a long tail, the tail should be, you know, touching the shoulder of the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, if not, for example, Maine Coon, the tail of Maine Coon is not touching the shoulder or the neck of the cat. Maybe the judges will say the tail is a little bit short for the Maine Coon. Yeah.
Okay, we have a question from Patrick. My cat loves to curl the tip of her tail. Does that mean it's a stub tail?
It's not sure. It's not sure. Yeah. Maybe, you know, maybe it sometimes yes, but sometimes no. We cannot, you know, we cannot, you know, see a problem of the tail like only when we see it, because we have to touch, we have to check. Maybe if you think about your cat can get a little bit problem of the tail, first, please do like I said before, just touching the tail like this, okay? If you guys feeling everything is normal, you guys will know. But if you guys touching something abnormal, like very hard or something not straight, so the cat maybe get a stub tail. Yeah, or always if the cat the tail like this or like this is very normal. My cat is also sometimes to curve the tail as well, but not the tip, but on the middle. But the tail is still flexible, you know, when we do like this to check. If the tail gets flexible, is good, so we not get any problem.
Okay, I think we have one Q&A in the Q&A section. What if my cat got accident and its tail looks like king tail, but I have a vet certificate for the cat's tail showing that it was an accident? Will it deduct to the criteria points for my incorrect tail? Profile body coating is good, and the incorrect tail did not come from genes.
You know, every accident change the morphology of the cat. It's not recommended to bring the cat for the show. For example, not only the tail, but maybe the accident come to the ear, for example, and your cat ears lose a little bit part like this. So that means lose a point from the judging. So if something like accident happen and change the morphology of your cat, yeah, think carefully about bring it to the show or not. If not change very much, okay, you can hide it a little bit, like prepare for your cat, make up a little bit. But if for example, lose a half, or your cat tail is not flexible, I'm agreed that it's not the gene, it's not came from the gene. But if the tail is not flexible because of accident, the judge just understand, but have to refuse your cat to go to the next round. Is very normal.
I think accidents also happen quite frequently with Persians, specifically in the eyes. And unfortunately, while it is an accident, cat shows are still, essentially beauty contests. The judges judge the cat as is, regardless of the circumstances of how, the cat acquired that type of look. And unfortunately, it may not be fair, but unfortunately, that's the rule of the game. Okay, do we have any other questions? Is it true that golden tick cats with white paws is considered a fault, and why? I believe Trudeau is referring to flax and gold.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's preparing for flax and gold. If 1 or 2 years ago, we can say yes, maybe it is a fault, but not at all, not now, because the WCF just released the new standard for the color of flax and gold. That means the golden is a white fit. So you can bring your cat, your flax and gold color to the cat show without any problem like before. The judges is when judging your cat, like every another cat with the flax and golden standard. Yeah, but please think about if you bring the cat, the British short hair with the golden flaxen, your cat can get the CAC for the adult, or CAP only for the kitten, and will not get a nomination for the vet show, and we cannot join the WCF ring as well. Yeah, so the flax and golden for WCF, it's just a new color and need time to understand more about the cat. And of course, flax and gold now is not a fault. It's not a fault anymore, and it is an accepted color, and you can bring to the show. Yes.
Yeah, it's unfortunately no higher than a CAC, right? So that's the maximum title that a flax and gold cat can attain. And that's basically because, this is a relatively new color. There's still being studies done about it. And I'm sure, who knows, maybe things might change after the next General Assembly of WCF next year. Another question from Jay: if my cat has inverted tear ducts, can it be a cause for disqualification?
Okay, to respond this question, I invite you guys go back to check the general photo from WCF, and we will do this together now. So I will show you guys where to check it. I will sharing my screen. Yeah, please just take a moment. Okay, screen through. Here, you guys can check the WCF list and the general photo on this part. Press standard, general, and general front right here. Okay, so problem about the eyes. So you guys can see here, they're speaking about the protrusion of nictitating membrane, the pigmented spot in the eye, no, strongly weeping or inflamed eyes and cloud eyes only. So, you can see that they say nothing about, the tear of the of the cat. So I don't think if your cat get the tear, we get disqualified.
I think also, Doc Ever, I think maybe a terminology issue here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you talk
it's
about
the
inverted tear duct, you're talking
uh
about entropion.
yes, it's basically like pink eye, I guess. Cherry eye, by the way, sorry. So it's the protrusion of the nictitating membrane. I think that's what they were pertaining. So it can be grounds for disqualification. Yeah.
So, okay, any other questions? Okay, just want to remind you guys, this is the second out of our 3-part series. We have another one. We're still just trying to find a common schedule for everyone. If there are no more questions, going once, twice, 3 times, I guess I would like to thank both Doc Ever and Dali for joining us in this event. Please join me in giving them a big round of Zoom applause for our mentors tonight. We are grateful for your time and expertise. And I would like to thank all of you also who went online for your very active engagement, right? And look forward to meeting you in person next month. So now for our certificate logistics, if you are interested in getting your certificates for this event, please answer our short survey. It's very, very short, which you may access by scanning this QR code that's right in your screen. We will also paste the link to the chat box. Also, please note that the image of the cat beside it, because that will be your answer to the question before you submit the survey. So there's going to be a last question before you submit the survey, and the answer is the Egyptian mouse. Now, still don't know how to join Fantastic Felines. I just want you to bring your attention to scanning the QR code on the screen or visit our Facebook page to know more. If you have friends who couldn't join this webinar but who are interested to join the show, please let them know that we are in the final stretch of closing the entries. I know it's still 29 days to go, but we are so fortunate and we are happy that there's been a lot of interest from different cat fanciers. And so here are the remaining slots. We're totally closed off the novice class. We have some slots remaining for kittens and juniors. We have 8 slots remaining for the altered class and about 11 slots remaining for the adults. And so before you go, guys, can I ask you to put your camera on so that we can take a class photo? So we're just gonna unshare the screen, the presentation. So please, if you can. Oh, how do we do this? Gallery? I can only see 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, immersive. Okay, let's do the immersive and see. Oh, we have a okay. Anyways, maybe next time we'll do a Zoom meeting so there's less yeah, we don't have the button for that, unfortunately. Yes, sorry about that. We'll take the class photo next time and make sure that we do a Zoom meeting instead of a webinar so that everyone can be seen. So that's it, guys. Have a good weekend, everybody, and please note that we'll be confirming entries over the weekend, so please stay tuned to your inboxes And also keep your phone lines open if we need to correct or clarify some issues in regard to your entries. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Happy weekend. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Doc Ever. Thank you, Dali.
Okay, Reno, thank you. Thank you for again for the invitation. And yeah, we keep in touch.
Yes,
Alright.
let's be in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Sir Dali. Sir Reno, thank you very much for the
Thank you.
invite.
Thank you,
Doc
Dr.
Thank you,
Ever.
everyone.
Okay, keep my line open for another 5 minutes in case there are last minute questions for people joining the show. If not, I'll sign off as well. Thank you for guests from Europe, from Italy, from Hungary, from Serbia. Welcome and thank you so much for supporting us.